Welcome to Walking Out of a Movie, your source for spoiler-free reviews of popular movies. My name is Zachary, and today we're talking about Bandersnatch. This is the movie event that many people have been talking about as 2018 draws to a close. It may not have gotten the celebrity of Bird Box, but a lot of people have been talking about it. If you're not familiar with the Black Mirror television series on Netflix, you should consider checking it out. It's usually great stories with really good production value, and if you like a little bit of that mind-bending television, then it's worth checking out. But knowledge of the television series is not required before viewing Bandersnatch.
We're gonna be a hit factory, like Motown, but for computer games. You heard it here first.
If you're not familiar with Bandersnatch, it is a choose-your-own-adventure style cinematic experience, cinematic adventure on Netflix. If you have children, you may be familiar with this concept of the pick-your-own-adventure option. It became very popular on Netflix with Minecraft Story Mode, which was released in October of 2015. The movie is presented in an identical point-and-click adventure style. The movie proceeds, and then you're given two options to select from.
Bandersnatch. It's an adventure game.
Variety says that the shortest variation of the film is approximately 40 minutes, with the longest version being just around 2 hours. There are apparently over 5 hours of content that comprise this adventure.
When it's a concept piece, a bit of madness is what you need.
Some commentators have pointed out that within the adventure you are given choices that are seemingly insignificant, whereas others appear more meaningful. The thing is, much like real life, you don't know which is which until you've selected it.
You're not in control.
The two most engaging characters are Fionn Whitehead, playing Stefan Butler, and Will Poulter as Colin Rittman. My experience with viewing Bandersnatch was in 2 sessions so far. The first was just to get a primer for the experience. I sat down and clicked on the options, and I wasn't paying too much attention to how it went, and as a result I hit kind of a roadblock of sorts. I hit a dead end where it basically gave me the choice to either go back just a couple of minutes and make a different selection, not unlike the Omega-13 in Galaxy Quest, or I could jump back significantly further and follow a completely divergent timeline. With the second viewing experience, I was much more engaged. I spent much more time carefully selecting the options, and it definitely gave me a more rewarding viewing experience. And maybe because it was the second viewing, I was able to pick up much more of the subtlety within the story and within the cinematography. So it was definitely a richer experience the second time. There was only one instance where I was halted and had to go back to another selection. That being said, I took it to a natural conclusion, and I was then given the option to view the credits, completing that cinematic experience. Without giving away any spoilers, the film is very meta. You are watching a point-and-click adventure film about a young man writing a point-and-click adventure video game, and his slow descent into madness, much like the crisscrosses of your adventure as you watch it on and make mistakes and make errors. Click on this link to go back a few seconds. Without giving away any spoilers, the film is very meta. You are watching a point-and-click adventure film about a young man writing a point-and-click adventure video game, and you watch his life spiral out of control, much like your viewing experience if you make incorrect choices. There are plenty of little Easter eggs and subtleties within the film which will be enjoyable for those that pick them up, as well as some deeper Easter eggs for the hardcore Black Mirror fans. On a personal note, I really liked the Pac-Man metaphor that they worked into the story. I think that that is on one of the strings of the timeline that everyone should be able to experience. I have a feeling there are multiple ways to get there, and then once you see it, there are multiple ways to take from there. But I'll ultimately find out when I view it again. And I will be viewing it again. I made a couple of choices at the ending, which gave me a very specific resolution to the story, and I have a great deal of confidence that there is a whole nother ending, and that is one of the things that I'll be exploring in the near future. Ultimately, I think that is the value in Bandersnatch as a viewing experience. I think you'll watch it and want to go down alternate timelines. A couple of technical things you'll need to know for the viewing. When Netflix first introduced this storytelling method, it was with animation, so it was relatively easy to buffer multiple options within the story. But this being live action, there's a much greater content that needs to be buffered, and with potentially very divergent timelines, just the amount of data was enormous. So Netflix actually had to revolutionize the method in which they buffer the story for you. That being said, there are limitations. So if your smart television or your interactive DVD player is not up to date enough, you won't be able to experience this film.
Bandersnatch was the final straw.
I give Bandersnatch a thumbs up. As I said earlier, I think the viewing experience will be in the form of multiple viewings. Hopefully you agree. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so you can see other episodes, and let us know what you think in the comments below.